So why do we need development economics? Because the economics already tells us that how markets and growth they work. So why do we need development economics as the another subject? So there are two views about this, right? So first of all, what exactly is development economics? So one of the views says that it is not a completely different branch, right? It is not a completely different branch. You are still using the concepts of micro, macro, public economics, international economics. They're in development economics only. But the point is that you are applying these concepts from these subjects specifically to the developing economics or to the developing countries. And what are developing countries? Particularly countries of Latin America, Asia, and Africa. Right. But there is another view also. The another view is that it is a different subject, right? Because one, it is applied only to the developing economies, and our normal models will not work in developing economies. That is the reason you need a different subject. That is the reason you need different subject. So the standard economic models, they are mainly made with the view of taking capitalist economies into account, advanced economies into account. You need different models to explain the behavior for developing economies. So that is the reason you need a different subject. So this is the another point of view, right? And what does traditional economics normally assume? Think about all the economics which we study. So the major concern is the efficient allocation of resources. So those resources should be efficiently allocated. So how you can allocate resources so that those resources could produce the maximum output, could generate the maximum welfare for the people, right? And over time, how these resources are going to grow, right? Over time, how these resources are going to grow so that economy can produce even more goods and services. This is the way traditional economics work. But the problem is that most of the traditional economics is related with advanced economies. So in advanced economies, it is usual to expect that you have a well-functioning markets. It is usual to expect that consumers have all information available to them, right? Prices adjust to demand and supply. Individuals rationally make decisions based on costs, right? And the benefits. So the point is that most of the economic models, they are made keeping into account the advanced economies. These assumptions are very useful, but development economics is actually asking one very important question. It is asking, can you actually apply all of these assumptions to developing economies also? That is a question. Can you just simply apply these, simply take these assumptions and apply? Can you assume that you have a perfect market in developing economies? Can you assume that consumers have all information? Can you assume that automatically prices adjust to demand and supply? There is a lot of government intervention also. So the answer is not necessarily, you can't just take the assumptions of the traditional economic models and just simply apply them to in developing economies. So you need a different subject. You need a different subject. And there is the another subject which is closely related to development economics also, which is political economy. So look at traditional economic models. What is the question which they are asking? They are asking, what is the most efficient economic decision? Political economy is asking something else also, something more than that. Who has the power to make that decision? So traditional economics is asking, what is the most efficient economic decision? And political economy is asking, who has the power to make that decision? So suppose there is a policy which is economically efficient, right? The question is, can it actually be implemented? Of course, if there is a policy, there'll be people who will be gaining from that, and there'll be people who will be losing from that. Who gains from such a policy? Who is going to lose from such a policy? And will there be some powerful groups who can prevent it? That is a question. So political economy brings politics and power right into economic decision making. And this is extremely important when you study development economics also, because you just can't neglect politics from that. So the question is that what makes development economics different? That is a question. So development economics takes a much broader view, very broad. It is definitely interested in ascertaining how resources are efficiently allocated. It is interested. It is also interested in how economies can achieve sustained economic growth. So the questions in which traditional economic models are interested, even development economics is interested. But you have to understand that development is not only about increasing GDP, it is much more than that. Development is about large-scale, rapid transformation of standard of living of people. So in order to understand that, it is not enough to know just how efficiently resources are allocated. You need to know much beyond than that, right? So you have to understand what is the country's social structure, political institutions, historical background, institutional arrangements. The way economic institutions or the political institutions work in China, they may not work in India. They don't have a multi-party system. There is one government, and that government tells you, do this, do that, and you have to obey that. This may not work in India. Right? So the question which development economics is actually asking is that, can economy transform itself? That is a question which they're asking. Not merely how resources are efficiently allocated, right? So the question probably it is asking is, how do we change the entire economic structure so that the standard of living of the entire society goes up? That is the question which we are asking. So the another question is that, why can't we simply use the perfect model assumption, perfect market model? So why do we really think that development economics requires such an importance or such an attention, such kind of attention, which requires a different subject altogether? So most of the assumptions which are working in the advanced economies, in traditional economies, so in advanced economies, it may not work very well in developing economies. You do not have perfect markets in developing economies. Markets are highly imperfect. Your credit markets, labor market, land markets, they may not function properly. They may not function perfectly, right? Perfectly in the sense, when I'm using the word perfectly, I mean competitively. Information may also be limited. It's not that everyone will have the entire information available to them. Consumers and producers may not know all kinds of prices which are available, all opportunities which are available, all technologies which are available to them. There in advanced economies, people know. And the another thing is that developing economies are also going through a structural change. Workers may be moving from agricultural sector to the industrial sector, from industrial sector to the services sector. People may be moving from rural areas to urban areas. And new institutions, new markets may be coming. So we are not studying a completely settled economic structure. In your advanced economies, you have a settled economic structure, right? So there are perfect markets. Your credit market, labor market, land markets, they function competitively. You do not have the problem of asymmetric information in advanced economies. And they are not going through the structural transformation. That transformation has already taken place. But in developing economies, that transformation is still taking place. Is not population moving from rural to urban areas in India? It is. Is population not moving from agriculture to industry service? It is. So, and finally, many of the economic decisions may also be influenced by uh, uh, political reasons. It might also be influenced by social priorities or political priorities, right? So the question is, just say in case of advanced economies, it is basically utility maximization or profit maximization. Now here, even economic decision is not simply utility maximization or profit maximization. It is dependent upon politics. It is dependent. So the decisions are also influenced by political priorities, by social priorities, right? So, so this is the introduction. This is like building a case for why do we need to study development economics as a different subject, as a separate subject? Why can't we just use the same models of the traditional economic models and study, right? So because the things are different, you can't just assume that the markets are perfect. There is no asymmetric information. So economic decision making is mainly for the maximization of welfare or of utility. It is influenced by political and social priorities, right? So keep on reading your reading also alongside this, right? I hope it was useful to you. Thank you, Bada.